Horoscope, astrological forecast for February 2026 for representatives of the Libra sign. February 2026 will bring you a series of bright and positive events, which, despite their obvious contribution to your optimistic mood, can create chaos in everyday and routine affairs. Yes, when our mind and emotions are in such an uplifted mood, it is not difficult to make a mistake or overlook something in mundane matters. Many astrological aspects of February will affect your sixth astrological field. This is the house that shows the basic conditions of our life, the conditions of living and work. On one hand, these aspects show that there will be a reformatting of the familiar here. On the other hand, these aspects remind us that not all tasks can be completed. They remind us that routine is endless and that there is no growth in the flow of monotonous tasks. Therefore, something needs to be changed periodically. Change your job, the route to work, change your daily domestic habits, change how your daily life is organized, change something in how your home space is organized, or in how household family duties are distributed. Moreover, this month sees the first eclipse of 2026 and the first eclipse in many years in your fifth house. This eclipse activates for you a program of joy, a program of life without routine. The eclipse occurs in a fortunate aspect relative to your zodiac sign and shows, as it were, an exit from monotony. It is like turning on a bright garland in a labyrinth of gray weekdays. Yes, this month you will want to decorate your life in different senses. This month will also feature a very rare historical astrological event, which last occurred in 1989. It is the point of the beginning of new times. February 2026 will also have several such special days that show contact with the future, which clearly make us understand where the path we have chosen leads and give us the opportunity to adjust this route. Such hints about the future may come around February 12th, 18th, and 27th. In general, for you, this is a bright month that renews the familiar, a time when you want experiments. Let's discuss in more detail the most important astrological events of the month and their influence on your sign step by step. February 1st brings a bright, ambitious full moon in the sign of Leo in your 11th house. For you, this is a time when the soul will crave celebration, crave attention from society. Therefore, during this time, you may make some publications on social networks, you may attend concerts, some festive events to receive attention. This is a wonderful time for any collective or social events, for speeches, publications, for some creative projects. It is a time when you will truly receive deserved attention. At the same time, full moons are a time when some task or question is concluded. In this case, it may be a question that could have originated, come to the surface back at the end of July 2025, when a new moon occurred in this same sign, this same sector of your horoscope. Now a question related to money, to those payments you are expecting, may be concluded. Also, the 11th house symbolizes other people's children, children who appear in our lives but are not our own. Therefore, this is a time when you may be invited to some children's party, birthday. It is a time when you may choose a gift, for example, for your nephew. Also, the 11th house is the house of the internet, so it is a time when some project you are implementing online may be completed. Also, the full moon in the 11th house may bring an acquaintance in personal life or a new stage in the development of your relationships. February 5th, the planet Mercury will be in a tense square aspect to Uranus. This is a tense, nervous day. There may be disruptions in the work of some habitual processes or items. There may be interruptions in internet service or the operation of electrical appliances. This day may bring disputes on financial topics. Much may be irritating here, but it is important to remain calm. February 6th, the planet Mercury moves into the domain of Pisces, into your 6th house, and Mercury will remain here unusually long, until mid-April. I will make a separate detailed video about this long Mercury loop in Pisces in your 6th house, as there will be a series of traps worth discussing in detail. Mercury will be in the space of your 6th house. This is the sector that symbolizes the conditions that surround us both at home and at work. The transit of Mercury through the 6th house typically brings a lot of such everyday bustle, when we have many plans, when we need to go somewhere, travel, buy something, repair something, resolve some issues. Mercury in Pisces is rather weak, This is its weak position. Therefore, to avoid drowning in this flow of tasks, it is important to make lists and plan your daily affairs. The sixth house also symbolizes our healthy lifestyle. Therefore, this is a time when you can pay more attention to this issue. Get tests done. Undergo a repeat course of treatment if necessary. Walk more to restore your physical strength. Also, the period of Mercury's transit through the sixth house is a time when there may be some innovations at your work. Something in the team may change, or the tasks you perform at work may change. I will make a separate video with more details about this long transit of Mercury through Pisces and its influence on each zodiac sign. February 8th, the planet Venus, the ruler of your sign, will be in a tense square aspect to Uranus. On this day, you should avoid any experiments, especially experiments with your appearance and style. You should also avoid unplanned financial expenses. This day may also bring disputes on financial topics and a conflict with a woman. February 10th is an important day worth marking in your calendar. On this day, the setup of a black moon-like plot occurs, which will have a continuation around the middle and end of March 2026. On this day, the planet Mercury will be in a tense square aspect to the black moon, Lilith. Mercury is our thoughts, words, logic, decisions, documents, calculations. The black moon distorts the principles of Mercury. Therefore, on this day, a black moon-like, erroneous, illusory plot based on a mistake, on a misunderstanding, may be set up. This plot will have a continuation and will return like a boomerang around March 16th or 28th, 2026. On this day, it is important to avoid ambiguous situations or unclearly expressed thoughts because you may be misunderstood, and based on this, incorrect conclusions may be drawn. Also on this day, it is important not to ignore arising questions because if you do not pay attention to them now, they will return a little later. On this day, it is very important not to create a point of information distortion, especially in work matters, in your interaction with colleagues, clients, or friends. Otherwise, this misunderstanding may grow to the scale of a problem by the end of March. Also on February 10th, the planet Venus changes signs. It moves into the domain of Pisces, into your sixth house, where it will remain until March 7th. Venus is the ruler of your sign. It is the conductor of well-being, both material and emotional well-being. The transit of Venus through your sixth house will improve the emotional atmosphere around you. This will primarily concern the conditions at your work. That is, work will become easier. Relationships with your colleagues may improve more pleasantly. Pleasant and profitable clients may come. The level of payment for your labor may improve, or you may receive some bonuses. In general, the transit of Venus through the sixth house directs your attention to organizing your life so that it is pleasant, comfortable, to avoid any conflicts and emotional outbursts. Also, Venus symbolizes beauty, and the sixth house symbolizes our health, our healthy lifestyle. Therefore, here you can take care of your good physical condition. But Venus is not Mars. Mars would force you to engage in sports or take some active actions involving strain. Venus, on the other hand, demands pleasure from us. Therefore, self-care here can take the form of a set of pleasant activities, for example, a massage or shopping. February 12th is an important point of the month. On this day, a conjunction of the planet Mercury with the North Node occurs. Their conjunction happens in your sixth house. Mercury is thoughts, words, decisions, documents, calculations. The North Node is a karmic point. It is the point of future transition into the plane of a new reality. And on this day, February 12th, our thoughts, words, decisions form events that will manifest around the end of August 2026. Therefore, this is a very good day for planning, for thinking about your plans, especially plans for the end of summer, for talking about it or taking the first steps in this direction. On this day, it is important to listen to the information you receive, both from outside in the form of some words, conversations of other people, and also to be attentive to information born inside you in the form of your decisions, some involuntary thoughts. All this serves as hints about the future. It is an excellent day for planning. For example, a trip, planning some changes in your work, planning an improvement in your quality of life, or some purchases, repairs, moving. That is, everything that positively affects the quality of your life and the organizational processes of your existence. Also, if your plans include changing jobs in the foreseeable future, then on this day it is worth thinking about it. February 14th. On this day, the planet Saturn, the lord of time, karma, and responsibility, transitions again and now finally into the domain of Aries, into your 7th house, and Saturn will remain here for a long time, until April 2028. Saturn conducts a revision, and in this case, a revision of the sector of your partnership relationships. This aspect is generally very demanding relative to your sign, because Saturn will be in opposition, diametrically opposite your zodiac sign. This is a good time to get rid of illusions in relationships, and also to create strong, long-term relationships where everyone understands their level of responsibility. This can concern relationships of both a personal nature and friendly and business ones. I will make a separate video detailing the essence of this long transit of Saturn and its influence on each zodiac sign. February 16th. The planet Mercury will be in a favorable aspect, an aspect of luck, relative to the most generous planet of the solar system, Jupiter. This day will bring luck in affairs, in work, professional affairs. It may involve a profitable purchase for you or an important and positive agreement for you. Also, a very useful meeting for you may take place. February 17th. On this day, the first eclipse of 2026 occurs. This eclipse occurs in the sign of Aquarius in your 5th house in a fortunate aspect relative to your sign. The eclipse in Aquarius is the first eclipse in a long time in this sign, in this sector. On one hand, it gives us results and clarity in the process of those events, choices, or decisions we undertook between August 2017 and August 2018. On the other hand, now a new vector of our attention is born, a new task, a new direction appears in which we will act, along which we will develop over the next 2 years. This eclipse marks the day of the beginning of the year of the fire horse, so it is a time when the fiery energies of the year are actively engaged. Since this eclipse occurs in a fortunate aspect relative to your sign, it opens up opportunities for you. Opportunities related to realization through creative projects, through creating something new. Opportunities related to your children. For some, it is the birth of a child. For others, bright events in the affairs of your children. The 5th house symbolizes everything we choose with the voice of our heart. Therefore, this is a time when you can make an important choice precisely with the voice of your heart. Also, the 5th house is the house of feelings of love. Therefore, in personal life, very interesting and important plots may be set up here. I will make a separate video detailing the essence of this eclipse and its influence on each zodiac sign. February 18th is another important point of the month and of the year. On this day, the planet Venus, the ruler of your sign, will be in conjunction with the North Node in your 6th house. Venus is the conductor of well-being. Venus symbolizes our earthly desires, and the North Node is such a hot, insatiable energy that heats up and enhances the ambitions and desires of Venus. Venus symbolizes beauty, aesthetics, money, profit, luxury. It symbolizes our well-being in the material world. The conjunction of Venus and the North Node occurs in your 6th house, the house that shows the conditions in which we live and work, the conditions of our daily life. This conjunction creates in you a strong desire to decorate and improve your daily life. The decisions and ideas of this day will find their reflection in reality around July 11, 2026. Also on this day, you may receive hints from the universe about the future, about what is to come. There may also be important events, or a meeting, conversation, decisions related to a significant woman for you. February 20th. On this day, a historical astrological event occurs. A conjunction of the planets Saturn and Neptune takes place in your 7th house. This is the point of the beginning of new times. It is the point that shows the birth of a new world order. Since Saturn is the planet that symbolizes external, conscious order, and Neptune is the planet that symbolizes internal, unconscious order, their conjunction gives birth to a new order of the world. Their conjunction occurs in your 7th house, the sector of partnership relationships. This shows that there will be transformations here. Neptune symbolizes our dreams and ideals, and Saturn symbolizes concrete earthly forms. The energy of this conjunction shows the best correlation between our illusions, our ideals, and reality. And also, of course, a new order of how you build relationships. I will make a separate video detailing the essence of this conjunction and its influence on each zodiac sign. February 22nd. On this day, the planet Venus, the ruler of your sign, will be in a fortunate aspect relative to Jupiter. This is a day of luck, profit, benefit. This aspect will act, influence plus minus a few days from this date, and shows successes at work, profitable purchases, important and positive agreements for you. It may also indicate an important event in the sector of personal life. February 26th. On this day, the planet Mercury turns retrograde, a motion that will last until March 21st. Mercury will be retrograde in your 6th house. This is a time when traditionally we sum up results, correct mistakes. We bring our expectations and reality into balance. It is a time when mistakes made in the past may surface. It is a time when we do something again. We may apply to some organizations, services, or repair shops to reperform some work. We may visit the same beauty salon we once went to, turn to the same specialist we have already consulted. It is a time when we can revise our wardrobe, retake tests, see a doctor we have already seen if such a topic is relevant for us. It is a time when we can correct mistakes related to work. And also during this period, we may redistribute household family duties differently. It is a time when clients we once collaborated with may return, may reapply. Some contentious issues related to your relatives may also return. February 27th. On this day, the planet Mars, the source of strength and energy, will be in a tense square aspect to Uranus. This is a tense, conflict-prone day when it is important to avoid any risks both with money and with feelings. This day may bring disputes on financial topics and an internal desire to change something familiar and convenient for something new. It is a day when you want experiments, but experiments are not beneficial now. Also on February 27th, we await another important astrological event. On this day, the Sun will be in conjunction with the North Node, the node of the future in your 6th house. The Sun is our self, our image, our role, our consciousness, and the North Node is the point of exit into a new space, into the space of the future. This is a day when, on one hand, we make some internal decisions, even unconsciously. We agree with something, accept something as it is, and on something, figuratively speaking, we put a cross and decide either to change it or abandon this process. On the other hand, on this day we receive hints about the future. And first and foremost, this may concern working conditions, work processes, and also the conditions in which we live. Such, from an astrological point of view, will be February 2026. I wish you a wonderful, successful month, dear Libras.